Okay, everybody, I think we're okay. This thing was just freaking out. Anyway, look, so here we are, you and me, at least I hope so. Post market wrap up Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. I'm glad all of you are here. Lava's here. Lava and I were just on the Atlantic Underground podcast. It was interesting because I had no idea Lava was going to be there. I thought it was just going to be me and Chris, and it was a real treat to have Lava there. It was fantastic. I hope all of you out here do catch that little chat we had. It was pretty incredible stuff. Anyway, people, so look, we have a lot here to cover. Bear with me on this. Stick around to the end because I got to tell you something. Um, anyway, excellent. Thanks, Shannon. I appreciate you letting me know because this thing was like freaking out. I don't know. I probably got some kind of probably being tracked or something. I have no idea. Anyway, look. So here's the story. I got a lot of stuff to cover with you. So what the real action remains again in the debt market off of the economic news that we got today. Of course, it's just mind blowing. We're seeing treasury yields drop. We saw the dollar pretty much fall through the floor today. And what we're going to see moving forward is going to spin people's heads around like the freaking exorcist. You could count on that. Yeah, I think it is mauve. I don't know what color this is. What is this here? It's kind of a interesting color. Anyway, so yes, the markets did well today. The Dow put on over 400. The Nasdaq put on over 400 points. You know me, people. I've been telling people to get long here, buy more tech. I'm adding to my position JEPQ. I jumped in here, and I mean jumped in here on that Monday when the market was falling through the floor. I wasn't catching a falling knife. Anyone here who understands the markets, every single professional jumped on that. Okay. The amount of debt buying, what was happening to the dollar was a clear indication that we were going to rip higher. Japan, remember they were telling us the markets in Japan crashed? Remember all that? And the unwinding of the carry trade and all that stuff? Well, the Japanese market just made all its losses back. Real crash, huh? Was no crash. And it was just the mainstream media, the propaganda, the deceptions, the distractions, whatever they got to do to keep you locked in some twisted, distorted state of mind to not understand what's actually going on. Well, it looked like it was a classic pump and dump, and then allowed the professionals, of course, to get in here and buy on the cheap, and everyone's out there sucking their freaking thumbs. Not you, not my lions out here. You all know what I did. I told you what I was doing on that day. You all jumped in with me. Congratulations. Anyway, with regard to today, again, it wasn't the freaking stock market, which is not a stock market. We have no market anymore. We have no economy. We have no market. It's all been taken over. There's been a coup or something that's incredible. When you have a situation like this where central banks are running the show, and I mean the show across the board, they're controlling the flow of information, the narrative. They're telling people what to think, what to feel, everything. Well, anyway, again, the story was the debt market. We'll talk more about that. But here's a few headlines from today. This is Market Watch. Treasury yields turn lower as mild, it was just slightly. Inflation is higher, but it's just mild. You can hear more of this. With regard to mild inflation here, do you realize, don't take my word for what I'm about to tell you. Mitch knows probably what I'm going to say because he's psychic. You all know this. Look, go look at how the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, has calculated inflation going back pretty much as far as you want to go, decades. Whenever things appear to be not looking so good, they change the calculation. What it means is, again, if they were calculating inflation the way they did even back in the 80s, we would be exponentially higher than we are now. But you see, this is how they can trick you. This is how they can fool you into thinking everything is just okay. People fall through these trapdoors that are set for them all the time. But I urge you to do this. Don't take Greg Mannarino's word for I'm about to tell you. The calculation for which inflation has been measured, or however they calculate it over many, many decades, whenever it gets a little bit too crazy here, they go in there and they tweak it. Well, you know what? maybe if we change this and we just twist this a little bit, the numbers will look better. Yeah, let's sell it to them that way. We're nothing. Do you realize that they really think that we're cattle? That's all they do. And this is, again, why people around the world laugh at us here. People think Americans are the most dumbed down people that have ever existed on this planet, like cavemen or something along those lines, because that's what they do. They sell us these kinds of stuff. So anyway, yeah, so it's just mild, so don't worry about it. Here's another one. Producer prices rise less than expected. Still going up, though. Still going up. Make it up, man. How about this one? This is interesting here. Another one. Well, that first one was from Market Watch. Second one from Reuters. These are all from today. This is Market Watch. The stage is set for a mild increase in consumer prices as the Fed gets ready to, cut rates here. We really do need to shed a little more light on this. I made a cute little thing for you. You're going to like it. So just be ready, because prices are still going to rise. It was never temporary. It was never transitory or anything else. Now, speaking about this, since you understand, all of us here, look at this, man. Market Watch again. Here's their opinion, how the Fed can regain credibility. Let me ask you, honestly, people, first of all, if any single one of you here believes that the Fed has your best interest in mind, along with our politicians, of course, who are working very, very closely with the Fed right now to make sure that America is brought to its knees. And Trump is doing it. Kamala is doing it. You all know this, okay? Those of you that have one functioning mitochondria within a cell in your body, and it doesn't even have to be a brain cell, understand what I'm talking about here. So the Fed has no credibility. All of you know that here. This institution is destroying us all. And it's not just the Fed. It's, again, they have their bases all over the planet. People in America really are the dumbest of them all. Not any of you here, but they really are the dumbest of them all. They get put into boxes by the television. Their brains are programmed. They think that everything here, the world revolves around the United States. There's a great big world out there, okay? And everything is just happening here because it's Trump's fault, because it's Biden's fault, or maybe it was Obama's fault. This is none of these people's fault, okay? They have, of course, these three presidents worked with the Federal Reserve more so than every other president combined. But it's really not, they don't have a printing press. They can't inflate the debt like we've seen ballooning debt. Okay, as under the last three presidents, has been absolutely astronomical, literally in the literal sense. They don't have a printing press. They don't have the ability to inflate. Again, they can assist the Fed to inflate, and that's what we're going to get moving forward. I've already told you a million times. I don't know, for months and months and months ago, whoever is selected as president should really be brought directly to a tattoo parlor and have traitor tattooed across their forehead. It's there anyway. Believe me, whoever it is who gets this seat behind the Resolute desk, when you're looking at them, when they're talking to you after the selection, just underneath the makeup, it says traitor. You understand? Anyway, so yeah, Feds, there's no way to fix this here. They have no credibility. Now, I want to talk about this too, because a lot of you are bringing this up to me. About 2 weeks ago, Trump had said, you know what? I believe that it should be a president should have the ability to weigh in on what the Federal Reserve does. Now, Vance is on board. This is actually from the Associated Press. It was, I guess, it was also reprinted, or however they work it here on Market Watch. Do you think this is good news? Any of you out here? First of all, what's missing from this? Vance backs Trump's idea of having less independence. How about getting rid of this institution? What these guys want, okay, is very clear. And we know this by their actions. I think there's a very, very special book. Most of you know what I'm talking about here. Very sacred to people here, where it says, you can judge a person by their fruit that they produce. Okay. What happened during Trump's tenure here? What was he doing? Calling for a weaker dollar and negative rates. Now, understand, this isn't going to help you. Okay. I want the Fed gone. This shouldn't even exist. Forget about independence. We, the people, this was set up so we should govern ourselves. We can control the monetary system. Okay. But no. No talk about that. Just me. You see, this is very deceptive. Those people that believe in this guy. I didn't like this guy from day one. I don't like any of them. I hate the entire system. But you all know this is just a ploy. And imagine just, for example, that if Biden was allowed to have some kind of input, first of all, do you think that these people really, do you think Vance understands economics here? He's become a multimillionaire, and we should really be questioning that. How does that happen? Of course, we understand. We all know how that works in reality. Of course, Trump does understand the financial system. I think to a certain degree, as a real estate guy, loves low rates, loves debt. Every real estate investor, and I know that some of you out here are real estate investors here. Uh, you like low rates, don't you? Of course. You would love negative rates too, wouldn't you? Sure, of course you would. It would be a beautiful thing for you. So that, again, just gauging from the tenure of Trump, we know last time, we know what he wants. We know where he stands on this. Weaker dollar couldn't possibly be weak enough. With regard to rates, can't be low enough. In fact, negative rates. That's what he was calling for. So instead of saying you know how Trump and Vance could win pretty much probably, I don't know, at least 90% of the popular vote. Say we want to get rid of the Fed. This is nothing here. This is garbage as far as I'm concerned. And all this means is, again, you can count on if Trump is selected that we will see. Oh man, what will we see? Not only are we getting promised by both creatures. Now, let's talk about that for a second. I made this up. Trump, I promise you lower rates and a weaker dollar. Hey, well, I promise you the same. Isn't that funny? Oh, hey, Kamala, isn't it just a coincidence that we both just fell in love with crypto? Oh, it's just a coincidence. They're laughing at us. Both of them laughing at us. Oh, anyway, people, look. So with regard to, look, I just want to show you this. This is what is continuing to happen here. This is the MMRI. Again, this is not just squiggly lines. Free to everybody. Link in the description of this video. This is what's showing you what's happening here in the debt market with treasury yields plunging here. I remember, and mortgage rates just hit like a 16 or a 17-month low, but the Fed's not cutting rates. No, they're not, because they haven't said it yet. Wait till that happens. Wait till that happens. And we're going to talk about that in a second too. But this is epic, man. This is the dollar. This is the Fed buying it all, and the promises of what we're getting out of both of these whatever these are. Okay, they look human to you, maybe. Well, they don't look human to me. They don't have a human quality, neither one of them, of course, here. They're both leading you to the slaughterhouse. Right, Mitch? Mitch knows what I'm talking about. And that's exactly where we're going. There's just no doubt about it. Now, this is not going to stop with regard to the Fed buying. We're already being promised lower rates here. Okay. Again, if Vance and Trump had their say, rates would be much, much lower right now than they are, obviously. But, you know, I mean, it's just a mechanism to allow the Fed to inflate in this case. But it's central banks around the world working with respective leaders here, puppets. They're all puppets, every single one of them, to, of course, destroy us all, to help the Fed and other central banks fulfill their goal to be both the lenders and buyers of last resort. Period. The end. We can't stop it. It cannot be stopped. No one's looking to stop it here. You understand that? You and me, we want to stop it. Instead, here again, we have two selectees, both saying the same thing. I promise you lower rates. I promise you a weaker dollar. And we both love crypto. Obviously, we know where this is all going, people. If you can't see what's happening here, then I think you're probably brain dead. Maybe you should check your pulse. Maybe you're actually dead too. I don't know. But anyways, this isn't going to stop. Now, with regard to rate cuts, which are coming, all right, here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Hold that thought, because we're going to have a little fun here. This is what traders are seeing, and this is what you and I are seeing. Traders see big interest rate drop around the corner, at risk of underestimating inflation. Again, going back to how they calculated inflation, just going back to the 1980s, a completely different calculation. This has been modified since that time to make things even look more beautiful and pretty. It's amazing, but people buy it time and time and time again. They can get away with all this because there's no uproar. And even if there is, it's very small. They know that there are going to be some people like you and me who are going to stand up for what we believe. We're going to raise people's awareness here. But people have no clue. They're deliberately dumbed down. They deliberately are caused to be slaves. They can't think because they're constantly working. They get up in the morning, go to work, exhausted, come home, repeat. On the weekends they sit there on the couch and watch sitcoms or whatever it might be. Anyway, so traders, this is happening here, people. So just count on that. Let me say this. The Fed's already in here buying it all. It's very clear. And it's being reflected here in the MMRI. This is an incredible thing. Really, really is. Okay. Fed's in here buying it all, fulfilling their end game. They have two selectees being paraded out in front of us who will help the Fed fulfill it. Okay. It's over. Okay. It's over right now. Just understand it is over. And any other mechanism they could come up with, again, to pull cash into the current environment will be instituted. Whether it's another COVID, another 3.6 trillion for a warp speed clot vax that Trump, of course, was forced to produce, which is not responsible for the death of millions, but is forced to do it. That proves that people are pulling the strings, right? Isn't that how it works? Yeah. And of course, the current administration, also mass murderers, funding wars all over the world. That ain't going to stop. But that's okay. But it's either war, death in one way or the other. They're looking to eliminate us. I think we're pretty much on the same page, and we haven't seen anything yet. But with regard to this, with the Fed cutting rates, it's going to be. This is what I was saying before. Japanese stocks, the crash already is not a crash anymore because it never was. Now this is all lovely Bostic. He's downplaying recession. That should tell you something here. When you have a Fed president, when they say something like this, they can't allow you to know the truth. This institution needs to go. Forget about a president or anybody else having say so in what the Fed can do with regard to cutting rates, raising rates, or anything else here. This institution needs to go. Every single one of these creatures. These are also not human either. Believe me on this. They need to go. The institution needs to go. You want to end central banking? Prevent them from issuing a single dollar. Hold that thought. Anyway, so interest rate cut is coming. When the Fed makes their announcement here, XMR 2024. Thank you, bro. When they make their announcement, I expect this market to fall. I expect the stock market to drop. Lions. If you're like Greg Mannarino and you are still looking for opportunities here, to get longer this market, wait a little bit. Keep some powder dry because that's how we see it. You know how this works. It's a sell the news. It's always the same. And then we're probably going to get an overreaction. Again, the Fed's going to still pump. They're going to pump it all. Again, lower rates gives them permission. Lower rates, just like Trump and Kamala are calling for, gives the Fed permission to do what? Create cash out of thin air. And whatever amount they want to, which of course is massively currency negative, and get into the market and buy all the debt. This revolving door, massively inflationary, no one's going to tell you that. Or from what I understand, neither Trump nor Musk pointed their finger at the Federal Reserve. I didn't watch it, so I can tell you. I'm just going off of what you guys and girls are telling me here. It was just a lot of deceptions, distractions. Look here, don't look here. Fed was not pointed at all. Trump will avoid it. So will Kamala. You understand? They can't do it. They already went to Wall Street. They got vetted. I would be willing to bet there were Fed presidents there who told them what to say, had them rehearse a script. This is what you need to sell to the people. Make them believe in you with all you got. Be genuine. We got them by the throat and we got them by the testicles. I think you can say that word. You can't say balls, but you can say testicles. All right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more. I want to show you. I made this. My printer, man, is awful. It's doing this thing lately. I got to fix it. I made this little thing here. All right. I want you guys to look at this. What I tried to do is make, let's just say this blue thing is the Earth. Okay. Let's say that's the Earth. And what we're seeing here is the world economy contracting extremely rapidly. In fact, we've never seen anything like this before. At the same time, you see all these arrows, the economy is contracting. You got central banks all over the world inflating the global money supply. Does that right off the bat sound wrong to you? In other words, if the economy is contracting, why is the Fed still inflating and other central banks? Again, central banks have their bases all over the world. Why are they inflating the global money supply here? What are they doing? You already know what they're doing here. This is how they're exerting or extorting control over the world. It gets worse than that too. You have to understand, we're seeing massive currency devaluation right now. That's the real root cause of inflation. It's a monetary policy issue. It is not an economic one. All right. Although, again, the blame game, it's Trump's fault, it's Biden's fault, it's neither of their fault. Neither of them have a printing press. Okay. When you hear someone say that, you have to really realize that you're listening to someone who's dumb as a bag of hammers. Okay. And this issue here, again, central banks around the world colluding with world leaders is allowing this mechanism to manifest itself. Start to think outside the box. Not just a United States issue here, it's worldwide. And as the currency is devalued, okay, and we're already hearing this. Trump started it. Kamala has no idea what this means, but she did adopt it. Okay. Hey, you know what? That sounds good. Weaker dollar, weaker currency. Sounds great. People want to hear it because they're cheering at the Trump rallies for it. Oh, yeah, they're cheering for lower rates too. So let me do the same thing. Let me also fall in love with cryptocurrency. People are going to love me for that. Obviously, we know what's going on. They're both here. It doesn't matter now. Both roads, the Trump road, the Kamala road, leads us to central bank digital currency because that's where we're going. Right, John Sims? Thank you. Everyone should start their own freaking podcast. Anyway, so think about what I'm saying here. In economy, world contracting, money supply ballooning. This ballooning of the money supply is obviously massively currency negative, whatever central bank is doing this. Now, the more they can devalue the currency, the larger they have to balloon the money supply. Why? Because it takes now more weaker currency to buy the same, or in this case, a lesser amount of goods. Okay. It's astonishing what's happening here. And imagine just, for example, I don't know, Harris or Trump had the guts to show you Greg's little diagram and explain it to you. Kamala couldn't explain this. You have to understand. And I'm not saying she's dumb. I'm just saying people are good in whatever field that they're in. Trump, I think, gets this here. I really, really do, but he can't tell you. He can't tell it. You can't explain this to you. He will tell you that the economy is a disaster area. The man is spot on. Okay, this is duh. I mean, this requires a series of duh. But he won't tell you how the Fed or central banks are ballooning the money supply, and they're doing this again to devalue the currency moving forward, to create more slaves to the system, dependency on the system. People can't get by. Okay, we need to do the polar opposite of what Kamala is saying, what Trump is saying. You all know that. You want me to beat a dead horse? I'll beat him again. We need a stronger currency. We need. You want to take down the Fed? This do the reverse of what Kamala and Trump are saying, and we could win. We got to prevent the Fed from issuing a single dollar. That's it. Central banks, just anyone. If there were one world leader here, one anywhere, pick a place that is now currently, unfortunately, forcing their people, their constituents, to live under the rule of a central bank. If we had one with enough guts, with enough okay, to tell the people, hey, you know what? This is what we're going to do. This ain't going to be fun, but we're going to stop this central bank from issuing one single dollar of debt. The whole system comes down. If one central bank is brought down, they all fall. You understand? But all we're hearing is, oh, Vance, yes, sir, Master Trump. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good. I think we should have say. We should have say of what the Fed does, because we want them to go negative, because that's what you wanted last time. It was a good thing, right? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fantastic. Come on, people, man. Come on. Wake up, man. Wake the freak up. Anyway, so rates are going to plunge moving forward here. So what's going to happen here is the disconnect from any kind of reality whatsoever. It's just going to be stripped out of the entire thing. Again, an economy which is being deliberately deconstructed. Central banks around the world doing this here, and that's my little picture is showing here. Okay, while they balloon the money supply, while you have world leaders promising you. Think of the idiocy here. It really sets the stage. It's like another planet, like Uranus. Okay, Uranus is a real planet, I think, isn't it? Anyway, I know Pluto was a planet, but then it wasn't. Then they made it a planet again. But Uranus, I'm pretty sure, is still a planet. Yeah. You have world leaders here calling for, again, we have historically low rates right now, and they're promising you lower rates. You can't make this stuff up. I don't care how dumb you may be or may not be, how creative you may be or may not be. It is freaking impossible to make that up. But we're not making it up. This is exactly what we're hearing here. It's insane. You can't make it up. It's just impossible to do. Anyway, so what we're going to see is, again, the disconnect between any kind of reality. We're going to see more distortions with regard to price action on an insane scale as the Fed gets in here and starts cutting rates, as they're being told, promising the people to do the same. The Fed, let me tell you something about the Federal Reserve here. It is so happy about the current environment. Now, it doesn't have just one ally. There are two. Now, so no matter who is selected here, they have an ally behind the resolute desk. It's an insane situation here. It's the ultimate, it's a win-win for the Fed. It's a lose-lose for you and me. You understand? And so markets, price action distortions are to an extreme, more so than we have now. Absolutely, we're not going to believe that. The economy, of course, again, this is a global phenomenon. It can't be fixed. It's not meant to be fixed. It's meant to be deconstructed. They need an ally to help do that too, to allow the central banks to inflate, to allow them to create cash out of nothing, buy all the debt here. It's amazing to rob them blind. When I was on that show earlier today, Atlantic Underground with Lava, you guys got to see this. It's great. I covered a lot of things. Both of us, we really covered a lot, along with Chris. Lava covered some important topics. I covered some important topics here, but trying to explain the current situation, and it's really not hard to understand. It's really not. It's so easy. I think that was one of the concepts I was going to. This is just too simple to understand what's happening here. Because look, the Fed is in their endgame. There's no doubt about it. I don't think they have enough dependency yet on the system. They need more slaves. They need more people to fall to the lower rung of society here. So when they do finally pull the plug on the system, and it's going to be very rapid, as it always is, it's going to catch most people absolutely by surprise, but not you. You follow me, you follow Lava. All right, everybody here should be subscribed. You see Lava right here? Subscribe to Lava. All right, let's show us some lion love. All right, come on, do this, everyone. Anyway, it's too much. So the disconnect between reality, the markets are going to go higher as the economy free falls. And then what's going to happen again? You're going to hear the blame. All we're hearing now is blame. With regard to the current situation of inflation, from what I understand, during the Trump Musk thing, it was being blamed on oil. It was blamed on this. Well, how come it's a global problem? Okay, maybe we are, he was pointing his finger at Biden, but not explaining how the whole world is in this. Is it Biden's fault while the entire world is in the situation that it's in? Duh, really? Is it really? That's what it is. But that's what he's trying to tell you, because he thinks you're dumb. These kind of people play off of that. They think their followers are, frankly, the dumb as a bag of hammers, and they just get them to get strung along. It's insanity on a grand scale. So we can expect the economy to crater much faster. We can expect global debt to surge much. Again, currency is a unit of debt here. You can expect the Fed to devalue the currency. We already know that's coming. We're being told by Trump and Kamala that's what they want. They think that's what you want because they think it's too stupid to understand what that actually means. As the Fed inflates, obviously, it dilutes the purchasing power of the currency. It's all over. Jeffrey knows exactly. Jeffrey, how you doing, buddy? As the economy contracts. So that's what we're going to see, a much faster contraction. And we're going to see more death, pain, war, maybe another disease process being thrown at all of us. Who knows, another clot, vax, warp speed, bioweapon that'll wipe out millions, but it's not going to be Trump's fault if he's selected. Remember, it's not his fault. He's being puppetized. At least that's what Trump supporters are telling me. All right, now look, before we end this, and I got something important to tell you, let us cover some of your questions. Anything specifically you guys and girls want to cover here? Before I split out of here. Yeah, maybe. Biblical proportions, Jeffrey, you're 100% right, man. I mean, it's crazy. It absolutely is crazy. I'm not licking silver, man. Anyway, people, look, here's my announcement. Okay, this video, right here and right now, is going to be the last one that I do until Tuesday of next week. That's right. I need a break. I need to disconnect from this just a little bit. You all know how this gets to me. My blood pressure, my heart, the sweats I get. Army Mom, thank you. It's killing everybody, man. It's designed to do that, Army Mom. It's designed to destroy you. We are being eliminated. I've done video after this, video after video. I've written papers about how this is an extermination. I've done videos about how this is an extermination here. They're destroying the people via inflation, and then they're putting puppets in place who are going to make sure that the Fed and other central banks around the world can inflate more. This is it. It's a war. Again, going back to what I said, people, look, let me show you Greg's lovely diagram here. Everywhere around the world, let's just pretend this is the world. You got it? Whether you believe it's round or you believe it's flat. Okay? I know there's some out there that think it's flat. Let's not even go there. All right. Central banks have their bases all around this world. Do you think that's just by coincidence too? Kind of like how Kamala and Trump now fell in love with crypto at the same time, how they're both pushing the same agenda with regard to the Fed. You think that's just coincidence? Ears to hear. Exactly. They have their bases, central banks all around the world. They're all doing the same thing in unison. Oh, sure, one might do something a few months before another one, then another one will follow. They can't simultaneously do it. It would be too obvious. So this one will do it, this one will do it, this one. But it's a war. They have their bases all around the world, and we are getting crushed. We're getting wiped out. We're getting absolutely destroyed. Look at this scenario. Global economy contracting at its fastest pace we've ever seen. Ballooning of the money supply. Ballooning of the global debt. How does that work? Unless, and you trying to tell me that we are the only people who are aware of this? Trump isn't aware of it? Kamala doesn't know. And again, not calling her stupid, but she doesn't understand this. This is not her thing. Honestly, central banks, they're laughing at us. They got their bases all over here, people, and they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. It's over, man. It is over. But we got each other. We got each other, and we got the guy upstairs, man. That's fact. That's fact. And I think you'll know where we're going with that too. All right. So as I said, people. So Greg, when it falls, we need to protect ourselves. Dude, no. Well, from a financial standpoint, bro, dude, this goes way JCT. This goes way beyond that, man. I'm in this because I like to play the game. Gold and silver, of course, these are real money. They'll be real money since forever here. But the more important aspect of this is us coming together here. We have to unify and we have to choose. It's up to us. It's not the Trumps or the Kamalas, the kings, the queens, the dictators, the monarchs who really should be dictating our lives. We should be planning our own futures here, not relying on someone else and whatever plan they may have. You understand? Which is obviously is not our plan here. We need to come together. We need to love each other, care about each other, be charitable to each other. With regard to the financial system, okay, again, the game is risk on, duh. Okay, the Fed buying it all, they're pumping it. So you want to be long the stock market right now. You also want to be buying commodities that are on sale. It sound familiar to anyone that's been following my work here? I think you need some cryptocurrency in your portfolio. Go relax at the track. Yeah, I need some downtime, man. I can't tell you, I really do. But I'm going to miss all of you, and I'm going to think about all of you. But anyway, look. So yes, from a financial standpoint, you need to have exposure to commodities. This should be logical. JCT, is this sound good to you? If you don't get it, believe me, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that follow this blog, hundreds of thousands, and they get it. So, get with the program. We welcome you to the family here, this Pride of Lions, and we got each other's back. We got each other's back. Lava's got your back. Mitch has got your back. We all got each other's backs here. People, come on, man. All my friends here. I love them all. How can we stop what's coming? Look, man, I told you. With regard to the monetary system, we need to take it back, period, the end. We don't have anyone with enough guts to do it. We only have players that are selling you a lie. We need the polar opposite of what Trump is saying and what Kamala is saying right now. We need higher rates here in the United States. We already have historically low rates. We don't need them lower. Okay. Lower rates helps the corporate agenda. Again, gone are the mom and pop shops. How many of you as old as Greg Mannarino? Probably not too many of you. I'm 59. Okay. I've seen a lot of change here. I remember the mom and pop shops all over the place. The backbone of the world, okay, used to be small business and even medium-sized business, but now small and medium, they're being wiped out. They're being wiped out systematically for the corporate agenda. Low rates does not help people. It helps the corporate agenda. They borrow cash for nothing. They sell their own debt. They sell bonds, and they make a profit off of it. Weaker currency, like we're being promised by Trump and Kamala, also helps fulfill the corporate agenda here. The multinationals who trade overseas, who they take advantage of the exchange rate. Doesn't help us all here. How does a weaker currency help you? You're seeing all this inflation around you? Ain't helping you, is it? Low rates, it's massively destructive. This is the number one and number two economic killers. We have a global economy. That's a fact here. But it doesn't mean that we have to fulfill the corporate agenda. Every nation here should be building their own economies. And it starts with, in Greg Mannarino's professional opinion here, doing the polar opposite of what Trump is saying, doing the polar opposite of what Kamala is saying here. You understand? This should be easy for you. It really should. It's not hard. Are we there yet? Anyway, that's kind of where we're at, man. Here, it's helping the economy and the companies. It is, Venom. Really? Yeah, sure. It's helping the multinational companies, corporations. It ain't helping the mom and pop shops. They're gone already. Ain't helping people. They're buried in debt beyond their eyeballs. They can't. People are now carrying their largest debt loads in history: personal debt, household debt, consumer debt, credit card debt, and defaults. See, that's the other hidden thing. People look. I know I just said I was going to go, but you're going to get me going here again. What's being hidden from all of you here, all of us. Okay, not you because you follow this blog. The financial system is bankrupt. This entire thing operates in a perpetual, ever-growing black hole. And that black hole, which just happens to be green on Greg's diagram here, is expanding. It can never be filled. It's never meant to be filled. It's meant to perpetually grow. And every mechanism possible that you could dream about, think about, fantasize about, or have a nightmare about is going to be utilized as a weapon. The system being weaponized right now. Kamala's weaponizing the system against you. Trump is doing the same, exactly on the same page with regard to the Fed, who runs it all. Okay, everything else is just a side effect. Okay, you can all, have your own issues on all that, and I get it. Okay, but right now it's the Fed that's controlling the world. You want to live under their rulership? Fine. We can't stop it anyway. No matter who is selected here, the Fed gets stronger, much stronger, and that means that we lose. I wish there were a real third candidate that could win. Can't. We have a two-party system that legitimately can only win for a reason here. See, if we had a three-party system or maybe a four-party system, people would be confused. People would not know what to do with themselves. This is the dumbing down factor. If we have the two-party system makes it exceedingly difficult for them to keep you here. You're in that camp, make sure you stay there. You're in this camp. Now, if we had a camp here, maybe another camp here, people would be way, way too confused. People are very easy to manipulate. Very easy. All right. And again, all you have to do is make them afraid of something. And then again, use Trump's book. How many of you actually went out there and got Trump's book? I told you to get The Art of the Deal. Okay, this book will outline so much for you. You'll get into Trump's mind a little better, and they'll also into the mind, deplorable Latina. I don't think you're too deplorable, and thank you. You'll get into their mindset. Again, mix truths with alternative facts or truths with lies and hyperbole. This is how they sell themselves to you. They can sell anything. Anyway, it'll give you a good perspective on how to defend yourself against the tactics that are being used against you. I recently moved. I moved about a year ago here now. I still am not fully unpacked. I have a bookshelf right here, which is virtually empty. I have all my books in boxes, and one of those books is Trump's book in there, and it's up in the rafters in the garage, and it's a nightmare to get to. That's why I haven't done it yet. Anyway, is the truth nothing but another point of view? Well, you tell me. Look around you, man. The truth is pretty much in our face. Honestly, it's interesting. Let me just say this. So history, his story. History, his story. If you look at, for example, how history is taught in different parts of the world, it's totally different. Totally different. How American history, let's say of another nation, is taught here, it's totally different than how it's taught over there. So history is probably a perspective, and it's always by the victor. Gets to choose what the narrative. You understand? Generally, anyway, pretty much, people. That's where we are at. No, don't say that, Maximus. Is there really a hurricane coming this way? I don't want to hear about it. We just got through this freaking this other storm here. It was pretty bad. We had this tropical storm which dumped rain on us, and I mean, we were flooded here, man. It was epic. Couldn't even get out of my community. I literally couldn't get out of here. All these roads out here weren't so bad, but the main roads, when you need a boat. Yeah, Debbie. It was Debbie did Florida. Debbie did do Florida. Wasn't too pretty. Definitely wasn't too pretty. People, again, I'm going to get out of here again. So you're not going to see me again. Please tell everyone too, because I know it's going to happen. I'm going to get hit from every angle here. That means that you guys and girls here got to look out for each other while I'm gone. Check out Lava. Check out Lava. All right. All of you here really honestly should be subscribed to Lava. Hey, Lava, you know what I'm going to do, Lava? I'm going to turn the reins over to you. I'm going to count on you, Lava, to keep the Lions informed. Okay. I know this is a pretty big burden, but I know you can handle it, Lava. I know you can. So everybody here, while I'm gone, all right, you're not going to see Greg till Tuesday. Till Tuesday. That was a band. Banana, voices carry. I'll keep my day job. Anyway, till Tuesday, you'll see Greg. Till Tuesday. But Lava's got your back. Lava's going to take care of you. I know that she is. She will. So everyone check out Lava. Please. She's gonna make sure all of you are taking, and you're going to take care of each other. All right. We got each other's backs always. Always. Sound about right to you? All right, people, that's really kind of it. I'm going to end here, and I'm going to end this off with what we do every Friday. All right. First, you're going to sub to Lava, okay? Because she's going to take care of you while I'm away. 2, all right, ready? Love each other. Care about each other. Be charitable people. We need each other. And we, the people of this world, have to decide what we want, okay? We don't need this freak or that freak, okay? We can govern ourselves. We just got to take back the system. And this is the revolution. We are the solution. We have the solutions. We really do. We've outlined them here. What needs to be done? Will they happen? Not with Trump, not with Kamala, period. So we know what moves that we have to take. We know what we have to do. Anyway, thank you. Look at this. Lava, check this out. 738 thumbs up. That's pretty awesome. I wish we had a little bit more. Again, it allows the algorithms to pick up the video. So people, be your own freak. I love that. Be your own. Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank. That's been my motto since day one. And yes, become your own freak like Greg. Love you all, people. I love you all from the heart. I mean this with all I got. And I'm going to miss all of you. Maybe I'll make a surprise appearance. But even if I don't, please, Lava's going to take care of you. All right, so go check out Lava, and that'll be it. All right, love all of you with all I got. I'm out of here. See you Tuesday. Huge love.